When we first start meditating, we have a battle with our mind. We battle trying to control it. We battle with everything that it's throwing up. It tries to entice us, to enchant us, to do anything but go towards stillness. The reason is, habitually, we enjoy stimulation. So when we go towards something that has no stimulation, and we say, hey, there's actually really high happiness and peace and bliss found from doing nothing, our mind goes, yeah, right, get real. Right? Enjoyment, happiness comes from doing things, from experiencing things, from getting more of this, more of that. So it does everything to enchant us away from that. We're going more towards stillness, and our mind literally gets bored with the meditation. And so what does it do? It does what it always does. It throws up something to entertain us. Oh, can't they stay still? I can't meditate while they're being that noisy. Oh yes, that palm tree, beautiful. I'm going to be there in 2 weeks. It's going to be so good. Then I'll be happy with the mosquitoes and the dodging the coconuts. And all the hawkers on the beach harassing you. This is the reality of it. It's not what we think of. It's not what the brochure says. So this is what we have to understand about concentration. To learn to concentrate, we have to learn how not to do. The very will, our will to do, is very strong. Our desire to control and do is so strong. Has anyone ever tried sitting at home? Just sit down, don't do anything. I mean, don't turn on the TV, don't turn on the radio, don't read anything, don't look around the room, don't even meditate. Try it. I'd love you all to try it. Try to do nothing and see how crazy you start to feel. But doing nothing is beautiful. But what happens is, as soon as we start to do it, we habitually go back to stimulation. So what we're doing is we're training ourselves not to do. So that battle with our mind we go through at first is our battle of doing. Oh, if we're going to meditate, then we've got to push this stuff away so we can do this. Yeah? But if we just stop resisting, allow whatever is there just to be, didn't pay it any attention, and just kept focusing on letting go of control, letting go of doing, rather than struggling with everything, the concentration gets deeper and deeper and deeper. This is how it works. So in our everyday life we have what are called the 5 hindrances. In our meditation practice we have what are called the 5 hindrances. In our everyday life, the 5 hindrances are what we live through. We actually live the world through them. When we come to sit down to meditate, these same things are what stops us from being able to concentrate. The first hindrance, right, is sensual desire, or desire for sense pleasures or sensual experience. So it's this desire we have to experience things. Our desire to see, our desire to hear, to smell, to taste, to feel for our body, to experience with our mind. Yeah? All the thinking and the fantasies that go down. This is all sensual desire. While our mind is filled with sensual desire in everyday life, we're always wanting something other than what's here. We're always discontent. While it's happening in our meditation practice, our attention is always turning outside instead of inside. So you can't go deeper and deeper within if your attention is always turning out. So this is considered the first hindrance. The opposite side of the coin to sensual desire is ill will. And what that is, that's a mind that's always pushing everything away and attacking everything. So you'll find you'll even get discontent with your breathing. This breathing's not right. I want it to be a lot more relaxed than this. This experience that I'm experiencing during meditation, that's no good. Yeah? Oh, these sounds, if only these sounds would stop, then I could meditate. So this is how ill will comes up. Aversion-based states of mind. Whenever aversion-based states of mind is there, the sensual desire-based states of mind are there, the same side of the coin. If I want something that's rather than what's here, if I want to experience something rather than what's here and I long for that, I also don't want what's here. If I want what's here, right, and hang on to that, I also don't want what's there. So they're always functioning at the same time. You can't separate them. When one's in your mind, the other one's in your mind. When one's grabbing, the other one's pushing away at the same time. It just depends whether the focus is out or the focus is in. This is how we live our everyday life, isn't it? Wanting, irritated. Yeah? But we bring that into our meditation practice. Now these two are something we can do something about. They are totally based on how we live. How we live our life totally influences how strong we are. 100%. This is where morality comes into meditation. If these two are strong, you can't concentrate. It just won't happen. But the more you refine your morality in everyday life, the more you refine what you think, say and do, you lower your chasing after and wanting more, and lower and start being aware through mindfulness of your irritation and your reactions and your judgments and all this stuff like this. Then these two start to settle down more. Then when you go to meditate, right, they're weaker. And it'll be easier to concentrate and you can actually get to a stage where they will be suppressed. And then at deeper levels of meditation, you get to a stage where they're completely removed altogether. The next two hindrances that are in our everyday life and also in our meditation practice are sloth and torpor, tina mita. Sloth and torpor is a really old translation, basically mental sluggishness or sleepiness. Has anyone experienced mental sluggishness or sleepiness in everyday life? Everyone's always really alert and full of energy. There wouldn't be any coffee if we felt like that, would there? Or Red Bull. Yeah? Mental sluggishness, sleepiness. That's a mental hindrance. Right? That also comes up. Anyone's experienced that in their meditation practice? Really dull or falling asleep? Or just kind of floaty but not really seeing anything? Yeah. The next one, number 4, is restlessness. Has anyone been restless in everyday life? Yeah? Interesting, isn't it? Isn't it interesting how all this stuff to do with meditation also is in our everyday life? Anyone been restless during meditation? Yeah. Mental sluggishness or sleepiness comes from not paying enough attention to what's happening now. So if you're feeling mentally sluggish and sleepy in your life, it's because you're not engaging with life. You're not experiencing life. Experience each moment of life. If you turn your attention towards that in everyday life, be passionate about what you do. And you'll be amazed, if you continuously turn your attention to something, it actually becomes interesting. People collect stamps, they collect spoons, like absolutely everything. People are interested in absolutely everything. Why? Because whatever you turn your attention to becomes enchanting. In the meditation, if we continuously turn our attention to the breath, it will become enchanting and becomes the vehicle to go deeper into blissful states. You see how that works? Restlessness comes from putting too much effort. Ever put too much effort into your life? Too much effort into relationships, too much effort into work, too much effort into anything. You do that, eventually comes to the stage you'll become mentally restless. And then you'll start burning out and looking for something else. Same thing in our meditation practice. We put in too much effort, we become mentally restless. We keep up that that effort, we start to burn out, we lose interest in the meditation. As soon as we lose interest, we're back into sloth and torpor, sluggish, sleepy, not interested in anything. These are two extremes that jump from one to the other. They're energy imbalance. The way to bring that into balance between those two, right, is just to be very aware of what's happening now, right, and be content with it, be happy with it, pay full attention to it. If you pay full attention to whatever's happening now, you will not bounce between those two extremes, both in everyday life, right, and in your meditation practice. And once you start doing that, whatever it is in your life that's boring at the moment or uninteresting will become interesting. If you're in a relationship, your relationship is as interesting and as passionate as you make it. If you have a family, your family is as engaging or as painful as you make it. Same with your work. Whatever you're doing, just put yourself 100% into it, but in a balanced way, a sustainable way. Everything is a long journey. It's not like we're going to get to the top of the mountain right now. One step at a time. If you do it like that, it develops. So in meditation practice, what we do is we don't concentrate on what we have to push away or we have to stop. What we do is we do one thing we don't do. Right? We concentrate on not doing, and we concentrate on just being aware, right? Mindful of and aware of what is our experience right now. If you do that, everything will come into balance. Those hindrances will settle and the whole thing will sort itself out. You don't have to do anything. It's the doing that causes the problem. It's the trying to change things that causes the problem. Yeah? If you're trying to change anything, you're automatically experiencing the first two. Sensual desire and aversion or ill will. You're trying to push something away to get something else. Doesn't work. Put 100% into right now and exactly what you need will start to manifest. This is how it works. The last one is doubt or skeptical doubt, number 5. Ironically, it's the last one, but in the practice, in the development of the practice, it's the first one to get uprooted. It's very, very interesting. Yeah. Doubt comes up in your practice. Or anyone had doubt in their everyday life about anything? Okay, you know that one. Doubt is a delusional state of mind. Basically, mentally, your mind jumps from this to that to this to that, and you actually become mentally paralysed. You end up in an inability to do anything. You become mentally paralysed, just totally. It's called the thorny mind, or a mind that just won't allow anything in. You can't meditate with doubt. Doubt comes up in your practice, in your meditation practice. The first time it will come up, it will be, I can't meditate. Maybe I'm no good at this and other people can meditate, but maybe this meditation stuff isn't for me. I don't have the ability to concentrate. That's doubt. Don't believe it. It will come up as a thought. It's a lie. It's a lie to make you go out and experience something. It's just a habitual habit coming back in. Don't believe it. The next way it will come up is, maybe I shouldn't be doing this concentration practice. Maybe I should be doing the mindfulness practice. Or I was taught a visualization practice before and wow, that was really good. Maybe I should be doing that instead. And so doubt does this. No matter what you're doing, it will actually find grass is always greener, something else that you should be doing. So you're paralysed. You don't get anywhere in anything. The next one is doubt in the teacher. It's like, Steve talks about this stuff, but how do I know that he's actually meditating? Maybe there's nothing really going on there. Maybe he's just reading this from books. Maybe he's just making this up as he goes along, there was other teacher down the road. I hear that they have really good classes. Maybe I should check them out. This is doubt. Be careful of that. People with doubt go from one class to another class to another class to another class. Yeah? This is what they do. The next one is doubt that meditation even works at all. Oh, we hear about this meditation stuff, but there's no real scientific proof, and I don't think this really works. I try it, hasn't worked for me, and so, this is just a lot of whatever. Yeah? So this is the way it comes up. What it does is doubt's task, right, is to confuse you. And that's why it's considered a hindrance. The only way to overcome doubt is to have some belief that the practice works. You're going to have some base. And if you're here, you have some base to believe that it works. And then you need to get some depth in the practice. When you start to experience things, you say, oh, the thinking stopped for a little while. I was told that it stopped, and wow, it actually did stop. So maybe the rest is true as well. Oh, I actually experienced a little bit of peace and quiet, just a little bit, a glimpse. It does exist, I can see it's real. This is where it begins like that. Oh, my life is starting to become a little bit smoother. It's still crazy, it's still a problem, but it's not quite as bad as what it was. Maybe this meditation is having, a change on that. This is where you start to overcome it. Watch out, doubt will say, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. That's because I gave up coffee last week. That's why it is. Yeah? It will do that. Careful of it. At the deepest levels, Sotapanna, right, of mindfulness meditation, doubts completely removed. Completely removed. It never arises ever. Yeah, so that's something for you all to just strive for. Eh? Completely gone. Sakadagami, I think I pronounced that right. Anger and greed-based states of mind are very, very weakened, very weak. So it's like, have this cake, it's about as strong as it is. It's like, no thanks. Oh, irritated, okay. It's about that strong. Anagami, greed-based states of mind, anger-based states of mind, completely removed. Notice how the hindrances are going back to front. I don't know why, but this is how they do. Oh no, it's the front ones actually. Front one's gone. Sloth and torpor and restlessness are only uprooted at Arhat, which is the final stage. So there's 4 stages. Yeah, but we'll talk about them in another class.